go for New Zealand, so just the one change for this side. Cole McConkey, you assume with the fact there's so many left-handers in that South African lineup, will become an important factor.
To experienced umpires, Richard Illingworth among the very best, 42nd T20I, played a World Cup final himself as a player back in 1992. And Alex Worf, he's been around, 51st T20I. Good to see two experienced umpires there. Nitin Menon is third today. Rob Tucker, number 4. Just a hint of movement, Polly, just a hint.
Yeah, and that's what he wants, to be nice and tight on that off stump. So I think Rob Walter has been the coach of South Africa for so many years. He must have had an exact idea of where to bowl to these two batters in particular. And I think they started off really well. No width to Quinton de Kock, not full enough for him to just pick it up over the leg side. And they're saying to Quinton in this big match,
আসসালামু আলাইকুম রাহমাতুল্লাহ। সকলে কেমন আছেন দর্শকবৃন্দ? আশা করি সবাই ভালো আছেন।
Just walks across, trying to create a bit of a flow to the leg side and just helps it on his way. He doesn't even bother about running. He knows he's middled it, and that's the start he's after.
I think Matt Henry, all he's saying is don't put it in that particular area, and he did just that. Wicket keepers are so quick at picking up length. Just felt 3 dot balls that something was going to happen in that delivery, and it did.
Wanted the single, it's not there. A 6 in spite of that. Only 7 of the over, 7 for dollars.
আপনার রুচির সাথে মানানসই স্টাইলিশ ডিজাইন থেকে বেছে নিন জংমুক্ত ও লং লাস্টিং শাইন বেসিন ট্যাপ। ফিটিংস শাইন তো সবকিছু ফাইন।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি। রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, ম্যাচে প্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
Sort of stuck in the middle order for a while since he's opened the batting.
Yeah, they were toying about where the best position for him would be, and they finally cottoned on to it. It's at the top of the order. It wasn't so long ago that he was fiddling at 3 and 4. No surprise. McConkey's introduced. They have to bowl an over or 2 of spin. With the seam options that they've got to, they need someone.
এবং এর সাথে কিন্তু আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি প্রথম ওভার শেষে সাউথ আফ্রিকার সংগ্রহ 7 রান। ডিককের ব্যাট থেকে এসেছে 6 রান।
Pakistan batting. When you see someone making 38% of a team's runs. But Katie, if the matchup was on, then Markram's presented it to McConkey.
I'm interested to see if there's turn, and there seems to be just a little bit there for the spinner up front. I think also with the dew expected to come in a little bit later, the earlier you bowl your spinners for New Zealand will be key. And the ball's still nice and hard and got a pronounced seam.
Easy.
এবং এরই সাথে ডিকক কিন্তু মেরে দিলেন 4। বল চলে গেল বাউন্ডারির বাইরে। সাউথ আফ্রিকার খাতায় যোগ হলো 64 রান। তাদের দলীয় সংগ্রহ 12 রান, কোনো উইকেট না হারিয়ে 1.4 বল শেষে।
It's worked once again, Katie, with the off spinner.
Think about the field set as well. They kept mid-off up. They were saying that the option is for his sleep slop square of the wicket. They continued there. A little bit quicker than the last delivery, a little bit more.
এবং বলটি কিন্তু উঠে গেল আকাশে। বলটি সরাসরি চলে গেল ফিল্ডারের হাতে এবং ডিকক হয়ে গেলেন আউট।
Trying to hit
নিউজিল্যান্ডের খাতায় প্রথম উইকেট চলে আসলো, তাদের পার্টনারশিপ কিন্তু ভেঙে গেল সাউথ আফ্রিকার।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন। ইফতারে আজ একসাথে মেতে উঠি আমের সাথে।
এবং সাউথ আফ্রিকার 1.4 ওভার শেষে দলীয় সংগ্রহ 12 রান 1 উইকেট হারিয়ে স্ট্রাইকে আছেন এইডেন মার্ক্রাম এবং রিয়ান বিকেলটন।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
Batting is virtually an opener. He comes in 10 balls into the innings. Look at that ranking up there, 13. He almost crept up on you, and then the SA20. Such a big part of the development of South Africa. And Rickelton said, "Come, look at me, I can play," you know, and he's been such a wonderful addition to the South African side. Oh, up in the air! That's 2 in 2!
এবং পরবর্তী বলে একই সাথে কিন্তু পরপর দুইটি উইকেট পেয়ে গেল সাউথ আফ্রিকা। বিকেলটন হয়ে গেলেন আউট। সাউথ আফ্রিকার কিন্তু আরেকটি উইকেটের পতন এবং তাদের সংগ্রহ 12 রান 2 উইকেট 1.5 ওভার শেষে।
He's chuffed. He's playing his part. Just 5 balls in, he's already picked up 2 wickets in the semi-final. New Zealand will be very happy with the start. South Africa 12 for 2. Rickelton goes without scoring.
দর্শক, আমরা কিন্তু দেখেছি সাউথ আফ্রিকা তাদের সকল ম্যাচে অপরাজিত ছিল, কিন্তু তারা কিন্তু আজকে তাদের সর্বোচ্চটা দিতে পারছে না।
নিশ্চিত করে প্রতি ইঞ্চিতে সঠিক থিকনেস ও সঠিক মাপ, তাই মাটির 1250 ফুট গভীরেও আরামে নিতে পারে প্রচন্ড চাপ। পাইপের বস, না কিনলে লস।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি। রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন। ম্যাচে প্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
Herself with joy that there'd be a hat-trick in the second over, hat-trick opportunity in the second over.
এবং 2 ওভার শেষে তাদের দলীয় সংগ্রহ 12 রান 2 উইকেট।
Opportunity, 34-year-old, been around domestic cricket a long time. Cole McConkey, subcontinent specialist, he calls himself. Now he's on a hat-trick.
Polly, I will not talk up another South African batter today, but I do like Dearful Brevis.
Yeah, I think a lot of South Africa likes Dearful Brevis. This is like almost the 20th occasion that someone in this tournament, the bowler's been on a hat-trick. Amazing stat.
Ooh, the outside edge. Goes for 4.
বল কিন্তু চলে গেল মাঠের বাইরে। ব্রেভিসের ব্যাট থেকে চলে এলো 4 রান এবং সাউথ আফ্রিকার সংগ্রহ 16 রান 2 উইকেট 2 ওভার শেষে।
কম্বিনেশন বৃদ্ধি করে পাইপের ডাক্টিলিটি ও হেভি লোড নেয়ার ক্ষমতা। ফ্যালকন এমএস পাইপ, নির্ভরতার প্রতীক।
কি রে, ফিরে আসলি যে?
ভাবলাম একা একা তুই যদি ভয় পাস।
কারো ফিরে আসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। ফলের নির্যাস ও দুধের সমন্বয়ে পোলার টর্নেডো গ্রিন অ্যাপল আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
Miller, Stubbs, Jansen, Bosch. You don't want to be 12 for 2. Matt Henry with his second. Ooh, square up a little bit.
Touched on in that first over about why McConkey was bowling. Have a look at these lines that de Kock's been out to spin. All very much in that channel line. Variety of lengths. This one there, he went a little bit straighter, but more into the wicket. Real problem this tournament for de Kock. Good planning from New Zealand.
Too far for the keeper. Just one of those deliveries. Seam up just has a mind of its own.
Yeah, from our angle, it actually looked like he got something on it, Aiden Markham, and just helped it on its way, but the umpire says no, nothing near it, and that it's gone away to the fence. It's a bonus boundary for the South Africans.
Oh, New Zealand have got a wide slip here. What they're trying to say is, can we get him a little bit more stiff and stuck at the crease, pushing his hands out? Someone that's a majority of his
সাউথ আফ্রিকার সংগ্রহ 21 রান 2 উইকেট 2.2 ওভার শেষে এবং তাদের রান রেট আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি 8.80
You don't make a semi-final unless there's a lot of those. There's two left-hand spinners, especially Mid-innings, who's playing some of the best cricket of his career. How does he come up against the best batting side in the tournament? Take the run.
তৃতীয় নম্বর বলে সাউথ আফ্রিকা তুলে নেন একটি সিঙ্গেল রান এবং এরই মাধ্যমে কিন্তু হেনরি তার তৃতীয় বল শেষ করলেন এবং তিনি কিন্তু এর আগের বলটি 4 এবং ওয়াইডের মাধ্যমে 5 রান দিয়ে ফেলেছিলেন সাউথ আফ্রিকার খেলায়।
In favor of South Africa. It doesn't count too much tonight though. It's nice to have that record, but you have to produce on the big stage.
I hate to say so, Polly, but in knockouts it's 3-0 to New Zealand, but that's over 50 overs. Right, Brevis, always on the edge of your seats if you're watching him. Oh, kept low. Well.
দর্শকবৃন্দ, আমরা যারা লাইভ খেলাটি দেখছি সকলেই দয়া করে চ্যানেলটিকে লাইক এবং সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দিই। আমাদের লক্ষ্য 2000 সাবস্ক্রাইবার, আমরা কিন্তু 1624 সাবস্ক্রাইবারে আটকে আছি। আপনারা যদি সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দেন আমরা কিন্তু খুবই শীঘ্রই 2000 সাবস্ক্রাইবারের দিকে এগিয়ে যেতে পারবো।
The ball just staying down a touch, and then as it gets softer it'll probably play better and more consistently.
Interesting thing about both teams, though, you might seem you're far away from home, and yet they've played so much cricket in this part of the world, all of them. Aiden Markham, 49. Tristan Stubbs, 62 for 1,000 runs. Mid-Santner needs a couple of wickets to get to 350. It just gets better. Mid-Santner, Lungi and Giri get better with every year. Just 6 of the over, 3 gone, 22 for 2.
RFL Easy Pipe, American ASTM স্ট্যান্ডার্ডে তৈরি আধুনিক যুগের আধুনিক পাইপ, ফিটিংস এর সাথে জয়েন্ট হয় শক্ত ও মজবুত। RFL Easy Pipe and Fittings।
এবং সাউথ আফ্রিকার সংগ্রহ 22 রান 2 উইকেট হারিয়ে 3 ওভার শেষে তাদের কারেন্ট রান রেট 7.33। এডেন ম্যাকগ্রামের ব্যাট থেকে এসেছে 3 রান 5 বলে, ডেল ব্রেভিসের ব্যাট থেকে এসেছে 4 রান 4 বলে, বোলিংয়ে কিন্তু চলে এসেছেন ফেগারসন।
রবি ওয়াইফাই মানে এখন নেট অন সারাক্ষণ।
It's one of their biggest exports.
Even giving young coach this down.
I think their South African job was the only one available at the time. He said, I'll have a wee dip over there, but I'll come back. His family stayed in New Zealand. Isn't it just love between both countries?
ফেগারসনের প্রথম বলে এডেন ম্যাকগ্রাম কিন্তু তুলে নিলেন একটি সিঙ্গেল রান। বলটি চলে যাচ্ছিল বাউন্ডারির বাইরে, কিন্তু না, সেখানে ফিল্ডে থাকার কারণে বলটা কিন্তু চলে গেল ফিল্ডারের হাতে।
It was an Indian pickle, wasn't it? Looked dangerous but actually tasty. 20 for 3 to go on and win a game.
Loving the lines that New Zealand are bowling.
একটি সিঙ্গেল রান নেওয়ার চেষ্টা, কিন্তু না, বল আবার চলে গেল ফিল্ডারের হাতে। তিনি কিন্তু রান নেওয়ার জন্য দৌড় দিয়েছিলেন, কিন্তু তিনি যখন দেখলেন বলটি চলে গেল ফিল্ডারের হাতে, তিনি কিন্তু রান থামিয়ে তার স্ট্রাইকে ব্যাক করলেন।
Shape at the crease, which is so unusual for him. He's so good when he's nice and still. He's simplistic in his approach, and he just reacts. Just wonder if they're saying, do we be a little bit more proactive with our field with 2-dot balls, or we just trust the plan? Deep cover's gone out, moved around from deep point.
সুন্দর একটা অপরচুনিটি ছিল কিন্তু ক্যাচটা তুলে নেওয়ার, কিন্তু ফিল্ডার বলটি মিস করলেন এবং বলটি পড়ে গেল মাটিতে এবং ম্যাকরাম কিন্তু একটি লাইফ পেলেন দর্শক।
So much time. It was a bit of a loopy one. Just made his yards across, but it hit at the top of the hands. It doesn't hit him on the soft part. Pops out. And the lines have been good. They've given no width. That was the ideal approach. It's created the opportunity, but down it goes.
How? Now that cover drive.
ম্যাকরাম কিন্তু এবার ভুল করবেন না, তিনি কিন্তু ব্যাটে বলটি লাগিয়ে বল পাঠিয়ে দিলেন বাউন্ডারি বাইরে। এই সাথে শ্রীলঙ্কা খাতায় যুক্ত হয়ে গেল 4টি রান এবং ইডেন ম্যাকরাম কিন্তু তুলে নিলেন তার নিজস্ব 4টি রান 10 বলে। সাউথ আফ্রিকা দলীয় সংগ্রহ 27 রান, 2 উইকেট হারিয়ে 3.5 ওভার শেষে।
First one has really seen New Zealand bowl a tad wide. That's why they've got that deep cover out to say, force them to go a little bit more square on the offside.
A certain dignity to his driving, Aiden Markram. I know that says loves the pull shot. There is something about the Markram cover drive, and New Zealand have just tried to get the ball away from his driving range. Driving range. Polly spent some time on driving ranges. Very good start by New Zealand. Very, very good start. 28 for 2 after 4.
সিলভার টিপ কন্ট্যাক্টে তৈরি নিরাপদ ও নান্দনিক ক্লিক সুইচ নিশ্চিত করে 50,000 বারের অধিক অনঅফ সুবিধা। ক্লিক সুইচ
সাউথ আফ্রিকার খাতায় 28টি রান, 2 উইকেট হারিয়ে এডেন ম্যাকরামের খাতায় 8 রান 10 বলে, দেওয়াল ব্রেভিসের খাতায় 5 রান 5 বলে।
একটু ভালোবাসা ভালো করতে পারে। চিজি আইসক্রিমের সাথে ভেলভেটি কেকের মিশ্রণে পোলার রেড ভেলভেট আইসক্রিম। পোলার মন ভালো থাকে।
দেখতে পাচ্ছি 16 রান 13 বলে।
86, even the 28 came very quickly. The difference with Markram now is the strike rate. He's always a very good player, but that strike rate has just gone up. For a long time, he was stuck in the middle order, striking sort of 120, 130 or so. It's now closer to 150.
Also, Hasha, in the last 2.5 months, 3 of his best scores. He's got 3 80s not out for South Africa, which are his highest contributions in a single innings. And it's all come at the top of the order since he's taken over that role. So he's definitely found his niche.
What about Nisham? I had Faf du Plessis talk the other day about how opening the batting for LSG in the IPL has changed Markram. I still think that 100 in the World Test Championship. I know different format, everything different. That just made him a different player, I think.
100%. I mean, points of reference in your career are so important, and you take so much confidence from him. I mean, the stage that it was on, the context of the match, what he did to get his team over the line, it would have done a huge amount for his confidence.
Five and 6, traditionally big scoring overs. You got Nisham. How did this go down, Katie?
Off pressure on Nisham. It's quite interesting. We were looking out the window. There were 4 people converging around Jimmy Nisham. I'm not sure if he wanted the ball or not, Polly. Replay of that drop catch.
In a very awkward position for a very simple catch.
They've actually set their mid-wickets quite square. So he was quite square and he was moving across, but just for them to say, you can see him working nicely onto that leg side.
Long on's gone out now, so they brought the man on the offside in, which would tend to suggest there will definitely be no width now. They won't even mind a wide down the leg side.
Wonderful. Into the pads.
এবং এরই সাথে মার্কারের ব্যাট থেকে চলে হলো একটি 6 বল চলে গেল বাউন্ডারির বাইরে। সাউথ আফ্রিকার খাতায় যুক্ত হলো 6 রান। তাদের দলীয় সংগ্রহ 36 রান, 2 উইকেট হারিয়ে 4.3 ওভার শেষে।
When New Zealand have structured their side, probably a seam bowler short, and that's showing here with Nisham in the power play. Just wonder if New Zealand will say, South Africa rather, we haven't got off to the best start. Maybe this is the over. Let's target this one.
Probably 50 is what they aim at. You don't want to be losing too many wickets. If you were 50 for 2, I think South Africa would think we've bounced back well enough from being 12 for 2. So they've got, 8 deliveries. I think they could maybe get it. Just the 2 fielders allowed out, obviously, as the power play graphic there suggests.
Thinking of catches that turn matches. Max O'Dowd, Shubham runs, and there's so many of them. They normally go at 9.5 and over in the power play. They're just under 8. Finds the gap again. This is the over that South Africa wanted to pull them up out of the hole.
এবং এই সাথে কিন্তু আমরা আবারও একটি 4 দেখতে পেলাম। এবার কিন্তু মার্কারের ব্যাট থেকে না, এবার কিন্তু 4 চলে আসলো ব্রেভিসের ব্যাট থেকে। তিনি কিন্তু সুন্দর একটি গ্যাপ শট খেলেন এবং বল পাঠিয়ে দিলেন বাউন্ডারির বাইরে। বল কিন্তু চলে গেল দুটো ফিল্ডারের মাঝখান দিয়ে এবং সাউথ আফ্রিকার খাতায় যুক্ত হলো আরো 4টি রান। তাদের দলীয় সংগ্রহ 45 রান, 2 উইকেট হারিয়ে 5.0 ওভার শেষে।
To make that change.
And finds the gap again. 17 of the over. South Africa back in this game.
দর্শক আরো একটি 4 ব্রেভিসের ব্যাট থেকে। তিনি কিন্তু থামার নামে নিচ্ছেন না, তিনি কিন্তু পাওয়ার প্লের একদম সুবর্ণ সুযোগটা উঠিয়ে নিচ্ছেন। পুরো একটি 4-এর মাধ্যমে কিন্তু তিনি উঠিয়ে নিলেন আরো 4টি রান। শ্রীলঙ্কার খাতায় 49 রান, 2 উইকেট হারিয়ে 5.1 ওভার শেষে।
আরে মা, বাপের বাড়ি গেছে ঘুরতে। কি ভাই, লোকাল ওয়াইফাই এর ঝামেলায় জীবনে শান্তি নাই? আপনার চাই রবি ওয়াইফাই। রবি ওয়াইফাই মানে এখন নেট অন সারাক্ষণ।
Lockie Ferguson will continue. We'll get across for a single. It's a really good start this one.
8.1 নম্বর ওভারে সাউথ আফ্রিকা তৈরি হলো একটি সিঙ্গেল রান এবং তাদের দলীয় সংগ্রহ 45 রান, 2 উইকেটে 5.1 ওভার শেষে। এইডেন ম্যাকরামের ব্যাট থেকে চলে এসেছে 16 রান 14 বলে এবং নেওয়াল ব্রেভিসের ব্যাট থেকে চলে এসেছে 14 রান 9 বলে এবং বোলিং এ আছে ফেগারসন।
They can capitalize. Danny Morrison, Temba Bavuma alongside. I'm nervous, are you, Temba?
Good evening, Pommy. The nerves are definitely there. Feels like I'm out there on the field. I think I must say that feels as if the momentum is slightly starting to shift into the South Africans' favour. We're rocked by those 2 early wickets. Markham and Brevis have able to kind of marshal South Africa through that tough little period.
And there's Orachen. Don't show me that replay again. All right? Good enough. Ready.
You've started well, though, Dan. Come on.
Something about being greedy and needy? No. It's just good to be back and see you, Pong.
Long flights and all that. Yeah, just been trying to understand how it's playing this pitch. Not quite coming off it as we might have expected. And perhaps that happens a little bit later. That's who's to come for South Africa. A nice long batting order.
আজকে কারা জিতবে আপনাদের মূল্যবান মতামতটি কিন্তু জানাতে পারেন আমাদের কমেন্ট বক্সে
Very deep and take some sort of control.
কে জিতে যাবে আজকে ফাইনাল
First of all, and then with this momentum you're talking about, Temba, they can try to sort of control things. Be called wide.
South Africa played a lot of their games for me in Ahmedabad. We've seen how that wicket has been a lot more truer. I think they're still getting into that phase of trying to understand how the wicket is playing. And most importantly, what is a good score? History tells you that it's a good wicket, it's a big score that is expected. They still need to try play what is in front of them.
Nice shot. Oh, so good. He'll only pick up one for that. But right up off the ground and punching it into that offside. Good pace also from Ferguson.
Now, like Matt Henry, he's been travelling as well. It's men who become fathers. Oh, it's great stuff. I love that. Sign on replay. Seeing Brevis airborne and some good feeling to boot. It is a billiard table. We love it here.
Oh, pace. Bounce as well. I think it might have collected him on the face there. Tim Seifert got through his gloves. Oh, dear. Hope he's all right. Seems still proud and you might have cut him. 48 for 2. Time for drinks.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
একটু ভালোবাসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। চিজি আইসক্রিমের সাথে ভেলভেটি কেকের মিশ্রণে পোলার রেড ভেলভেট আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
Sort of try and ride the bounce and change to reverse cup.
একটু ভালোবাসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। চিজি আইসক্রিমের সাথে ভেলভেটি কেকের মিশ্রণে পোলার রেড ভেলভেট আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
ভালো আছি মা। তোমাকে বৌমা তো চলে গেছে।
হ্যাঁ, চলে গেছে মানে? আবার বললেন কি হইব?
আরে মা, বাপের বাড়ি গেছে ঘুরতে। কি ভাই, লোকাল ওয়াইফাই এর ঝামেলায় জীবনে শান্তি নাই? আপনার চাই রবি ওয়াইফাই। রবি ওয়াইফাই মানেই এখন নেট অন সারাক্ষণ।
কি রে, ফিরে আসলি যে?
ভাবলাম একা একা তুই যদি ভয় পাস।
কারো ফিরে আসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। ফলের নির্যাস ও দুধের সমন্বয়ে পোলার টর্নেডো গ্রিন অ্যাপল আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক। একটু ভালোবাসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। চিজি আইসক্রিমের সাথে ভেলভেটি কেকের মিশ্রণে পোলার রেড ভেলভেট আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
ভালো আছি মা। তোমাকে বৌমা তো চলে গেছে।
হ্যাঁ, চলে গেছে মানে? আবার বললেন কি হইব?
আরে মা, বাপের বাড়ি গেছে ঘুরতে। কি ভাই, লোকাল ওয়াইফাই এর ঝামেলায় জীবনে শান্তি নাই? আপনার চাই রবি ওয়াইফাই। রবি ওয়াইফাই মানেই এখন নেট অন সারাক্ষণ।
কি রে, ফিরে আসলি যে?
ভাবলাম একা একা তুই যদি ভয় পাস।
কারো ফিরে আসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। ফলের নির্যাস ও দুধের সমন্বয়ে পোলার টর্নেডো গ্রিন অ্যাপল আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
After 48 for 2, he's decided to go with the helmet. Tim Seifert, after a blow on his face. Nose is all right, everything's all right. Concussion test done. Into the next part of the game. And we expect Santner will operate. Yes, he's got ball in hand. And South Africa partnership 36 from 28. First up is to see the reaction of the ball off the surface. McConkey's so good for his 2.
Yeah, good point there, Pommy. I think I'm quite intrigued to see how the spin goes. It's a very important phase, this so-called the consolidate phase. I think South Africa, this tournament, haven't gotten the memo. They tend to go quite hard in this period. I think with New Zealand as well, all that guile, all that skill by Santner. Interesting to see how this period goes. Very important period this in the game.
What he has been is economical through the tournament, despite not taking many wickets. Oh, that's right off the stumps. Probably not so short either.
Wow, right on cue. Cambo, and you say that flight and guile, you just got to watch Santner. Left arm orthodox, and he deceives you in the flight so often. And it skids on. We know it's a bit skiddy. Watch out.
Yeah, great control. Best thing about him, Santner, is his control. Changes lines, will change length ever so slightly, but particularly the change of pace. There's that economy I'm talking about, 6.25. Yeah, doesn't want to let him just bowl at him. Looking to try and make the play. Not quite off the middle. Bit of cat and mouse. Get across for a leg by.
I think with Santner as well, what makes him effective is the trajectory of his ball. Most batters are always setting themselves to see a little bit of that flight. They want to see that ball above their eyes. But with him being so tall and releasing,
দর্শক আমরা কিন্তু দেখতে পাচ্ছি 6.5 ওভার শেষে সাউথ আফ্রিকার সংগ্রহ 51 রান 2 উইকেট। এডেন ম্যাকরামের ব্যাট থেকে চলে এসেছে 16 রান 16 বলে। ডেভাল পেভিসের ব্যাট থেকে চলে এসেছে 17 রান 16 বলে। এবং তাদের টাইম রান রেট কিন্তু 7.43। পার্টনারশিপ 40 রান 31 বলে বোলিং এ আছেন মিশেল স্যান্টনার। তিনি কিন্তু 1 ওভারে 3 রান দিয়েছেন।
Make a big impact in the semi-final.
That's full as well. You can already feel the tension. It's 52 for 2.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
শান্তি। প্রশান্তি। ক্লিক ফ্যানের অ্যারোডাইনামিক ডিজাইনের অ্যালুমিনিয়াম ব্লেড ও ডাবল শিল্ডেড বল বেয়ারিং নিঃশব্দে বাতাস ছড়ায় পুরো ঘর জুড়ে। ক্লিক ফ্যান, প্রশান্তির হাওয়া ছড়িয়ে যাবে সবখানে।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
No surprises here. Rachin Ravindra, he comes in left armour. Also look to take it away from the two righties. Hasn't been a great deal of spin. He'll also rely on his guile. Confident coming off a man of the match performance. I think here he has an opportunity to rectify his little bloomish earlier in the field.
Oh, Tam, you read my mind. He's got an opportunity with ball in hand to come back, and can he do it? Can he make a difference here and redeem himself and get rid of the South African captain? Love this guy.
দর্শক আপনারা যারা লাইভ স্ট্রিমে দেখছেন তারা কিন্তু এখনই লাইভ স্ট্রিমটাকে চ্যানেলটাকে লাইক এবং সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দিন। সব ধরনের সকল ক্রিকেট খেলার সর্বপ্রথম কিন্তু আমরা নিয়ে আসবো আপনাদের সামনে।
And it is because they make these plans and are able to stick to them, and each time their players will come and do something particularly good. McConkey already tonight, 2 for 9 from that over in the power play. Bit of a chit-chat now with bowler and skipper having a chat. Oh, something's the matter with the bail, perhaps. 53 for 2.
Yeah, very smart team, New Zealand. Epitome of being streetwise. Always feel playing against them. There's always a plan. They're generally very good at executing those plans. You know that you have to be on the top of your game when coming up against them. I think the way here they've gone to Aiden as well, you've seen that there's a clear plan. Not to give him any room, tuck him up. Bit uncharacteristic this from Aiden, yeah, 17 of 18 balls. But you can see their plan is working so far.
Yeah, so far so good if you're New Zealand. They've slowed things down. Rachin Ravindra, heroic stuff. Yes, Sri Lanka. Borba. And not so easy to get it away, just keeping it nice and tight. I said at the end of the previous one, tension. Remind you all again, semi-final. And look at how the tournament has gone. South Africa have looked imperious in the way that they've played. Unbeaten here with bases all over the place covered. And so now, do they have the courage? Fielder takes the catch. Joe Mitchell. Beautiful hands.
Oh wow, he wants a replay. And Alex Walsh says, yeah, we're going to check to Menon. Looked all right from our box position. We're so close here.
We have umpire review
big
for
moment.
catch. I've checked the fitness and injury, looking at the screen now.
তারা কিন্তু ভালো একটি পার্টনারশিপ বিল্ড করছিলেন দর্শক, কিন্তু এই একটি পতন হয়ে গেলে তাদের পার্টনারশিপ আবার ভেঙে যাবে এবং নতুন করে আরেকটি পার্টনারশিপ করে তোলা লাগবে। একটি ভালো রান টার্গেট ক্যাচ।
Can you zoom out please? Zoom out a bit please.
Just watch my.
Yeah. Keep it going back, going back, going back. Fingers underneath here. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. I can see the fingers underneath. Yeah, thank you. I'm ready with my decision for the big screen.
Right, so look at the decision. What is it then? It's out. It's been given out. Markram is gone. Oh, huge moment that. Rachin Ravindra comes back to make amends. And it is Markram, the South African captain, who goes to the joy of the Kiwis.
It's a big moment that in the game. Third umpire there didn't have an easy decision to make. The decision has been made, and Aiden Markram, captain South Africa, he goes for 18. South Africa 55 for 3.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আরএফএল এসডব্লিউআর পাইপই মাপে যা বলে তাই দেয়।
না দেখে ঠকবেন না। আরএফএল ছাড়া
এসডব্লিউআর পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস।
পাইপের বস না কিনলে লস।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি। রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন। পিৎজা বার, প্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
Pressure, pressure, pressure.
দর্শক আম্পায়ার কিন্তু চেক করে দেখলেন বল কিন্তু মাটিতে লাগিয়ে এর সাথে মারতে হয়ে গেলেন আউট এবং
David Miller has made his way to the middle.
এবং এবার দেখার পালা
He replaces Aiden Markram.
সাউথ আফ্রিকার জন্য
Goodness, I tell you what, that was a close decision, that one.
হাতে রয়েছে আর মাত্র
Shouts of catch it again, it won't carry all the way.
বলটি চলে যাচ্ছিল কিন্তু বাউন্ডারির দিকে কিন্তু না
Another look at this. Daniel, come on, tell me what you think.
Well, I was with you a bit, thinking, was there a little bit of grass involved? But Nitin Menon, he believes that Daryl Mitchell with those big hands and long fingers gets it underneath and it bounces up in the fingers. Oh, that looks interesting. To me, that looked more out. It was funny than the shots we saw when we thought that was not out.
Oh, mix up. It's okay in the end. There's a misfield. 8 done, 57 for 3.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আরএফএল এসডব্লিউআর পাইপি মাপে যা বলে তাই দেয়।
না দেখে ঠকবেন না। আরএফএল ছাড়া
SWR পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস।
পাইপের বস না কিনলে লস।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি।
রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, ম্যাচে প্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
Most wickets for New Zealand in this tournament. Rachin Ravindra. None bigger than the one he's just got. Here's Santner. Bang! Out of there! Massive shot! Boundary after 18 deliveries.
Yeah, that's a massive one there for me. Kind of feel for South Africa. They needed something like that just to break the shackles a bit. Beaver's getting a little bit of length. Dispatching that over long on.
This is the partnership. South Africa need this one to be fruitful. Shots again, it'll just be one. New Zealand will look at it as the one that could break the back of the South Africans. It could be the one could clinch the game. So much going on early in the game. Rachin Ravindra drops one, drops Markram, and then he's bowling when Mitchell comes forward to take that one.
South Africa will welcome this, a left-hand, right-hand combination here at the crease. Santner bowling it into middle. Seen the wicket though, hasn't been one that's really come on. So you expect David here to have a look before he starts opening up his arms.
So often we'll talk about peaking and peaking at the right time, and teams that go all the way through a tournament and win and just keep playing the same. But in big scenarios like this, it's whether you can play the same. Something happens that just jolts the side, and can they shake it off and just keep doing what has been successful prior?
And throw in the mix for the South Africans, it was a fortress for them. Ahmedabad suited them massively. Ball coming on, the bounce, the carry, for the pace quartet. Then you move away and all of a sudden there's different challenges around this great country.
Bowling there. There's that slower one. Just hung outside off stump. Come and get me, he says. The Prince of Kolkata. Saurav Ganguly, former captain of India, at home here, walked out the trophy. Nice shot. Fielder out there will keep it to just one. Yeah, the question also, just throw in the fact that these two sides meet before, and so when New Zealand turn up here, they have to come with a slightly different plan if they feel the one before wasn't the right one.
Just had that little stat. It's 0-5. South Africa so dominant over the Black Caps.
10 off, 67 for 3.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
ঝর্ণার মতো স্নিগ্ধ, ছবির মতো সুন্দর। RFL বাথরুম ফিটিংস, অভিজাত ও দীর্ঘস্থায়ী।
সর্বাধুনিক সিপিভিসি ম্যাটেরিয়াল দিয়ে তৈরি RFL সিপিভিসি প্রো পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস 93 ডিগ্রি সেলসিয়াস পর্যন্ত গরম পানি সহ্য করতে পারে। RFL সিপিভিসি প্রো পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
67 for 3. It requires that South Africa have some sort of salvo here, because it is New Zealand's bowlers who are holding sway, just keeping a lid on everything. It's not free-flowing. Good pitch here, has been a little bit on the sort of stoppy side to start off with. I don't think too unexpected. Add to that the pressure of a semi-final. Not quite off the middle. Phillips, oh, down. He's the one you'd have bagged, you know.
Wow. Going about a McMassive moment here at Eden Gardens. And Glenn Phillips, who made all that ground, is so dynamic. I put my house on it. And the boat. And the pool. Glenn, he got there. Oh. In the end, I don't think he needed to jump and move like he did in terms of trying to gather it in. Wow, it was a great effort to get round and make it look easy to get there. Wow.
More like it, controlled along the ground. Goes for one. Oh, lots of heart-stopping stuff here.
He got there quite easily in the end. Probably we know how quick he is. I think there at the end he probably didn't need the dive. Good effort though from him. And again another drop catch unfortunately goes down for the Kiwis.
He says with a smile on his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Gone for it. One-handed and all. Still it goes miles into the crowd. Sixer.
Oh, a one-handed fatsy. That is outstanding. Because he's been done a bit in the fly. Watch this. Oh, kaboom, baby. I know it's not the biggest going around, this boundary, but man, that is power. Oh.
You got to appreciate the bravery there. Ball before, drop catch, drop chance. Ball after that, bravery. Wipes that out of his mind. Focuses on the ball. Ball is in his area and goes for it.
Courage required, under fire. Can they still play shots in this period, which they've dominated through the course of the tournament? Yes, 3 wickets down, but it will take both Brevis and Miller putting some pressure on the New Zealanders for the South Africa to try and wrest back control of this match. So far, it's kind of a little bit tentative.
So different compared to Ahmedabad. Surface there, playing area, all those things we keep saying, don't we? You get there as a team in a tournament situation and you don't have to move. And that's what's been so good for South Africa.
Yeah, I'll say it's the situation. The jeopardy does a whole lot to absolutely everybody. It's gone straight up. Mitchell! They're not going to drop him twice. David Miller gone. Oh, the Black Caps.
Holy schmoly. It is happening here midweek. One of the most iconic grounds going around. The pressure of the situation, as you said, Pommy and Bangla. Sudden death semi. And both these sides have got a history of choking a little bit at this stage.
Miller goes for half a dozen, and suddenly South Africa are 77 for 4 here.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
ম্যাক্স কোলা খুব ভালো খেতে, খেয়ে বলি
ম্যাক্স কোলার এমনই টেস্ট।
না খেলে বুঝবে কেমনে।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি।
রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, পিৎজা বার, প্যান্ডা মার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
Strategies in place for all the batters and it has worked a treat.
দর্শক আমরা কিন্তু দেখতে পাচ্ছি 10 ওভার শেষে সাউথ আফ্রিকার সংগ্রহ 77 রান 4 উইকেট হারিয়ে স্ট্রাইক আছেন ক্রিস্টেন স্টাবস এবং বোলিং আছেন কিন্তু জিমি নিশা।
Kristen Stubbs walks to the crease.
PXSM Automation.
Recently has spent some time out in the middle. Was there for the win against Zimbabwe that they had in Delhi to keep their 100% record. But now his team in trouble. Very different situation. And much higher stakes. Nisham bowled in the power play. It was only his second over in the power play in the tournament. And the one over that he bowled in the power play went for 18 in a previous game. And today he went for 17. And there he is now after 10 overs.
Visit apps.pbx.com.
This is a wicket of David Miller. You'd have to say it's right in the slot for the left-hander. It's the perfect matchup. But he just doesn't get it anywhere near the middle of the bat. Daryl Mitchell, safe as houses at long off. They've put a couple of chances down New Zealand, but they haven't been made to pay.
New Zealand Black Caps have put themselves into a position of strength. It's through great planning and discipline that has worked for them. Are in serious trouble now.
সাউথ আফ্রিকা কিন্তু এতদিন খুবই ভালো খেলছিল, হঠাৎ করে কিন্তু তারা তাদের ফর্ম থেকে বিচ্ছিন্ন হয়ে গেল এবং মাত্র 77 রানে কিন্তু তাদের
Do you go through the field? Do you go over? He did neither. Jamalishan has brought himself back into the game. Serious situation for the South Africans. 77 for 5.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
ঝর্ণার মতো স্নিগ্ধ, ছবির মতো সুন্দর। RFL বাথরুম ফিটিংস, অভিজাত ও দীর্ঘস্থায়ী।
সর্বাধুনিক সিপিভিসি ম্যাটেরিয়াল দিয়ে তৈরি আরএফএল সিপিভিসি প্রো পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস 93 ডিগ্রি সেলসিয়াস পর্যন্ত গরম পানি সহ্য করতে পারে। আরএফএল সিপিভিসি প্রো পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
Down. Needed much with the bat through the tournament. Mark Jansen desperately needed today. Just twice in the tournament so far. He's having a look at the field. Loves to hit the ball straight, very strong, straight down the ground.
Here's the two previous wickets. David Miller gets it nowhere near the middle. The intent was there, the plan was there. And that's just indecision. It's not committed to the shot. What Carlos Brathwaite said, do you go over, do you go along the carpet? In the end, he just spoons it to Mitchell Santner, the skipper at cover. Done all the hard work. Started to rebuild nicely. and gives it away. We do have a deep batting lineup, South Africa. Jansen at 7, Bosch at 8. But they need this partnership. This is a huge moment in the game.
I think the game has gone to level as well, where you can no longer consolidate for too long. So they can't sit down on 5 overs, 6 overs and think we'll get it to 160 and we'll win the game. No, you need 180, 190, even 200 here to win. You have to back your batters to keep going. And I think if Brevis had that mindset of just keep going, play the game, play the situation. The situation is Nisham has 3 overs to bowl to finish that quarter with McConkey's 1 from the power play. So if you're looking for a bowler or a set of overs to target, this is the over. This is the who and what you target. That's a half volley. Hit him out of the park. We saw them play in Ahmedabad, even against India. So positive, so proactive. Do not take a backward step now because everything is on the line.
Yeah, it's a great call because you can go into the game with as many plans as you want. But it's until that pressure really starts to come on and you start to second guess your best option. Start to think, should I do it? What if I get it wrong?
So far, New Zealand is getting everything right. It's 80 for 5.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি। রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন। ম্যাচে, প্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি। রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন। চিলক্স, প্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
Pressure on the South African batters. David Miller would have had some good memories of this ground from 2023 and that he played a brilliant innings in that semi-final. It was in a losing cause though. It was a magnificent 100 that he put on in a tough situation. Now it's up to Stubbs and Jansen to get them out of trouble. Stubbs himself, you look at his strike rate through T20s, is phenomenal, but in T20 World Cups, very different story. He's striking at just around 111 in T20 World Cup matches. So unlike him.
Down. You talk about his overall career compared to T20 World Cups, and there can be something in that. And one of the things is that you play a different opposition each and every game. Think of a bilateral series, you turn up, you might play 3 or 5 games against the same opposition. So you can start to get a read on plans, you can start to understand what teams are trying to do to you. Turn up to a World Cup, every game is different, so then you've got an opportunity to have to start doing your planning all over again. Turn up to a different venue majority of the time, each game. So it's not the consistency that you generally get in a bilateral series. So that just adds an extra layer, and then you throw in the pressure of a semi-final.
That is a computer, so would answer this question. How does he start series now?
Sometimes a little tough to say with Stubbs because it depends where he's batting, because he's usually sort of towards the end, isn't he? But you look at his IPL then, I was just thinking of, all right, what about strike rate in a franchise comp where, again, you're playing against obviously different opposition. 163 is what he strikes at in IPL. SA20, 140. And I understand what you mean in terms of just different opposition all the time, because it's something that South Africa struggled with in terms of being so good in bilateral series at times, but then they come to World Cups and it's a different story. Yes, they're generally good in group stages, but those knockout games is so different. But of late, it seems to have switched a bit.
Oh, yeah, boy, yeah, boy. Lovely lads, lovely lads.
Corbin Bosch Well, its strike rate is only just under 110, but he certainly can bat. But this is not a situation you want him in on. A little risk there, Janssen. Looking for runs. It's 84 for 5.
কিরে ফিরে আসলি যে?
ভাবলাম একা একা তুই যদি ভয় পাস।
কারো ফিরে আসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। ফলের নির্যাস ও দুধের সমন্বয়ে পোলার টর্নেডো গ্রিন অ্যাপল আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
Shots for India as well, as you would expect. Celebrations at this ground not so long ago for India. Booked place in the semi-final. They of course play tomorrow against England. Right, 8 overs to go. Have we any surprises in the surface tonight?
It's probably been a fraction slower than what everybody thought, myself in particular. Thought that beautiful covering of grass would have kept enough pace in it. Haven't seen a huge amount of spin, but just some hold. A push for 2. Not on Glenn Phillips. And we've seen some variable bounce at times when Lockie Ferguson bowled some cross-seam deliveries. Mitchell Santner, he's mixed it up between pushing it throughout the front, some cross-seam, and there's been a hell of a lot of spin at this stage, but wicket seems to have got better and better since the initial couple of overs.
Yeah, it did look a little bit drier underneath that covering of grass, so it wasn't enough. I didn't have to do the pitch report, so I didn't need to put my neck out there, but I was wondering if it would be a touch slow, and just wondering how that affecting stroke play the South Africans who's coming from Ahmedabad, where it was an absolute road. They batted beautifully on it, not taking anything away from their performances, but you now need to adjust, and their approach was ultra aggressive. You lose a few wickets, the pitch is a little bit slower than you've been accustomed to over the last couple of games. How much of a backward step do you take? How much consolidation is possible versus sticking true to your processes?
Taking the reverse is Janssen. Spoke about how good he is playing straight down the ground. So it's to take a bit of a risk against Santner. Runs that South Africa will be grateful for. First boundary after 20 balls is 91 for 5.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
বাবা এত এনার্জি কই পাও?
এই পাওয়ার চুমুকে অ্যাকশন।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি।
রমজান নিয়ে no tension. Chilox, Pandamart.
Partnership between these two is with just 14 from 16. Neither have really found the timing just yet. Very few of the South African batters did. Looked like Dewald Brevis had a measure of the surface, but was then dismissed for 34. The wall of spin continues. Birmingham on the 12th of June, we will have the first game of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup, and we marked 100 days to go today with a new scoreboard at Edgbaston. England will be taking on Sri Lanka in that opening game. That is his strength. That is where he's found so many runs in his career.
was tossed up from Rachin Ravindra. Just 80 k's per hour. Difference here, footwork. Just a little shimmy down the track. It's got such long levers, immense power. Get that anywhere near the middle. Will clear most boundaries around the world. Beautiful strike.
Slightly different format for the ICC Women's T20 World Cup this year, in that we have 12 teams competing, the 6 teams in each group. Current champions New Zealand are in Group B, and the hosts England in Group B as well. Seifert tries his best to get there. Was there a little something on that?
Look like he's tried to smother it a bit. Love the effort though. Helmet up. Thought he would have gone under trying to scoop it. But he's a live wire, isn't he?
Seemed a late adjustment from Ravindra, and saw him moving away from the stump, so pushed him wider. South Africa have pulled their way to 100. The slowest 100 in the tournament. Not been easy going at a ground they haven't played at yet in this year's edition of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. They've been in Delhi and they've been in Ahmedabad. A few instructions. Daryl Mitchell, get down, and he does. It's 101 for 5.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
কি রে ফিরে আসলি যে?
ভাবলাম একা একা তুই যদি ভয় পাস।
কারো ফিরে আসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। ফলের নির্যাস ও দুধের সমন্বয়ে পোলার টর্নেডো গ্রিন অ্যাপল আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
Gentlemen, it's not been easy for South Africa.
Aiden Markram, the skipper, was the first to go. Every time it looked like South Africa were just starting to build a partnership, they'd lose a wicket. And here's something you don't see every day. Glenn Phillips putting one down. Some big shots. And then this is a big wicket of David Miller. Left arm spin to the left-hander. Was in the slot, he just mishit it. And Jimmy Neesham very next over. He got Brevis, just chipped one. Simple to cover. This partnership now 22 from 24 deliveries. Sorry, 24 from 22 deliveries. They're out of the blocks, 8 and over. They just haven't been able to find that next gear. Anytime they start to build a partnership, they've lost back-to-back wickets.
Just shows you also from South Africa's point of view the importance of this partnership. They're going to have to try and find a way to build, but
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি।
রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, পিৎজা বার, প্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
ড্রিঙ্কও এখন রিয়াল ফ্রুট পাল্প ও নাটা চেলি সহ নতুন প্যাকে নতুন স্বাদে।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি।
রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, চিলক্স, প্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি।
রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, ম্যাচে, প্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
আপনার রুচির সাথে মানানসই স্টাইলিশ সব ডিজাইন থেকে বেছে নিন জংমুক্ত ও লং লাস্টিং শাইন বেসিন ট্যাপ। ফিটিংস শাইন তো সবকিছু ফাইন।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
ম্যাক্স কোলা খুব ভালো খেতে, খেয়ে বলি
ম্যাক্স কোলার এমনই টেস্ট।
না খেলে বুঝবে কেমনে।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি।
রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, ম্যাচে, Pandamark ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও করুন।
Innings of South Africa. Right in the block hole.
I like this play. It's a good decision from Mitchell Santner. Go back to your number one striker. Understanding the importance of this partnership, the importance of this phase of the game. Like Carlos said, the West Indies, they found their way to a good competitive total because it was the 7th wicket partnership. They kept accelerating. So I like this from Mitchell Santner. Go back to your gun. Go back to your premier wicket taker.
Yeah, how many times you see captains allow the game to meander slightly, and then it's different coming out of a break, which the time out on the water break was, finding your rhythm and then facing Lockie Ferguson versus facing him directly out the time out. If you can go bang bang as they have done the first couple wickets and the wickets 4 and 5, that breaks the back of anything that they can post South Africa.
He's looking to pierce the gap on the offside. They'll just get the one, and that's actually been a feature of New Zealand's fielding today. They haven't allowed South Africa to get too many twos today. Just feel like they're suffocating the batters in many ways. With the angles well on this outfield in Eden Gardens. Important hand that he's got on that, because it just increases the pressure on South Africa, who thought maybe there's a boundary there.
Oh, it's the dreaded sound. Overstep from Lockie Ferguson. You talk about small moments in games. Brilliant shot, well fielded. Is there any dew coming in? Doesn't look like there's a huge amount just yet. Oh, it's tight. Oh, that's tight. Is this the momentum that South Africa are looking for?
So well bowled that. Smart. It's been good in the over already.
You talk about moments. Imagine Santner not feeling that it goes for 4. That ball goes for 5. Next ball goes for 6, a free hit. And all of a sudden you're talking about 1 legal delivery, 11. And actually they've just minimized it to being 3 off that 1 legal delivery. So it's those types of things in a crucial over that can change the game.
Situation South Africa haven't been in the tournament. They haven't had to really push on in the last 5 overs and being 5 down. So this is something a little new to South Africa in this tournament. His batting lineup has been so good. Someone has always stood up. Just a little look at the square leg umpire, and that's fine. Good over. 108 for 5.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি।
রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন। চিলক্স, প্যান্ডামার্ক ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
This is the phase that South Africa have to maximize if they want to win this game. 108, how many can they get? Can they get 60 of the back 5? Can they go after Santner in this over? Do they have enough wickets left? So beautifully poised. Right, Katie Martin, Danny Morrison alongside me in the box. Is there anything you've seen on this surface that suggests that stroke play is a little difficult? Is it just stopping a little bit on this surface?
Well, I think, Harsha, Katie, I just think with the new seed, the new ball, and that seam is a little bit harder and still got a bit of oomph in it, it can just grip a bit. I was out there for the coin toss and just felt the surface, and at times you can move a couple of plates in it, and it's famous for that here. But what and make it slide on a bit more. Yeah, we know there's a bit of a dew factor. Both captains said that at the toss. But I think it's a case of getting settled in, Harsh. Get used to the surface because it is different. And we keep saying that around India, don't we? Pitches do vary around, so they add up different challenges. And this one just thinks just a little bit on the lower side. And I think you're right, with the newer ball, it's just sat in the pitch just fractionally longer.
There's styles out there, but they're not being used yet. We've just been told by our production crew down there, minimal dew at this stage, minimal. But in the India-West Indies game, it came a little later.
On cue, you could just see the economy rates for New Zealand spinners have bowled a lot slower. It's something that they've developed and learned throughout the tournament. I think there's been a lot of courage in them actually taking the air out of the ball. We've seen slightly different plan from the first delivery, where they've actually been a lot quicker. A lot quicker that first delivery to try and get in the over and mix it up as the over goes on.
And it's so hard to get out of the answers hitting out. Might have to hurry. Just 5 of this over, 4 left. South Africa 113 for 5.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
একটু ভালোবাসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। চিজি আইসক্রিমের সাথে ভেলভেটি কেকের মিশ্রণে পোলার রেড ভেলভেট আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
2 from Henry, 1 from Ferguson. Where does he use Neesham? I don't think he's going to go back to McConkey now. So where does he use Neesham? Does he go 18th? Does he hope he gets wickets and keep him at the back end? This is Henry for now. Also, at what point do these two say, look, we're not going too far the way we're batting now? What point did they say, right, time has come to go big?
Yeah, I can subscribe to that, because I think you go and perhaps 18 balls left. These two, man, they can hit such a big ball. And then you've got Corbin Bosch waiting in the wings. See, I think you can, even though we talked about the nature of the surface, the dew's starting to come in. 11, 12, 13s off the last 3. Definitely. The power that's on offer.
Remember McConkey and Santner the other night.
I think that's been a key for Stubbs over the last couple of years, is just learning to understand the situation. He said he learned it a lot of David Miller and watching him, and he's been around for a really long time. Not to go too hard too early, and then last 5 overs really go, and he's given himself a slight platform at the moment, striking under 100. I expect at this point in time there's still enough power, like you say, that they can go a little bit.
And when he does, he goes like that, Jansen. Lovely long levers.
City of Joy, City of Fattage. That has gone some distance. Oh, yeah. Cross seam in the slot. And Jansen says every night of the week.
love that. He's quite deep in his crease, so just that length that Matt Henry typically bowls there, it's given him a little bit more leeway. He's tend to go short as well.
Couldn't be easy adjusting the height. You saw Santon in the previous over trying to get out of his hitting arc and bowling two wides. Nikan Batter saw him get a 90 here in the test match to go with his 6 for 48. 21 balls. Can they get 14, 21 balls? 40, 45 maybe.
Almost Brevis-like with his head staying down on that shot.
And that's in the gap. That's gone for 4-2. They've decided the time has come.
Yeah, we were asking the question. Now that extra little bit of pace and skid on of Matt Henry, just to the liking of Tristan Stubbs. Yeah, he's trying a little cutter into the surface. Skiddy nature, local time, coming up 8:25 p.m. and on about the dew factor starting to come in now.
Just discussing at the back of the box, how does he use Henry? How does he use Lockie Ferguson? Does he push Lockie Ferguson back, use Henry up front? He's gone the other way. 50 of the partnership comes up. It's taken 43 balls. It's almost forced on South Africa.
As a batting unit, you want to have someone in there in the last, that's been in for a period of time in the last couple of overs. That's when you go your 25, 20 plus. And in this situation, they're going to be so vital these last few overs. The semi-final game, runs on the board, best bowling side in the tournament so far. You're right, Danny, that slid on a little bit more nicely as the Knights come in.
Both teams have found semi-finals a little difficult to overcome.
A couple of colleagues raised their eyebrows, but it was for both teams, I said.
Goal. Might be the length. 15 came off the over. 128 for 5.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আরএফএল ইজি পাইপ আমেরিকান এএসটিএম স্ট্যান্ডার্ডে তৈরি আধুনিক যুগের আধুনিক পাইপ ফিটিংস এর সাথে জয়েন্ট হয় শক্ত ও মজবুত। আরএফএল ইজি পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস, পাইপের বস না কিনলে লস।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
উৎসবে ভালোবাসা ঈদ মানে বাঁচা।
Of semi-finals, South Africa would say they got ruined by the rain at Eden Park in 2015. They were flying when the rain come in. It was a different game post that. Same as New Zealand versus India in the 2019 World Cup, we went over 2 days. Rain come into a little bit of assistance.
T20 though. New Zealand have 1 in 4. South Africa have 1 in 5. One of them is going to improve the record. Right, Nisham. We talked about the over in the power play. This is the over South Africa need to make big. And no disrespect to Nisham, but it's just that if you want to target an over, you'd go after Nisham. That might be an opportunity for Nisham.
Yeah, I'm with you, Harsha. I think so. They'll target this massively. One over went for 17 from Nisham. So you think of him not quite getting it right, whether it's a slower ball cutter or a bit of pace on. Stubbs and Jansen, well, their eyes will light up. Ferguson, yeah, waiting in the wings. So this is 18th. You got the penultimate. That's a big over too. Get momentum going into the 20th. Then look out from the side, trying to get runs at the death.
Clobbered. Long off was out, long on was out. They were a little wider. They could have been a lot straighter. It wouldn't have mattered.
This is what he does, Jimmy Neesham. He just puts that ball in that hard length area and he's able just to stand deep in his crease, create that length and say, all I'm going to do is hit through the line of the ball because I know it's not going to move one way or the other. He's got those subtle adjustments in his release point, Jimmy Neesham. and that leg cutter as well. It's not doing too much off the wicket at all.
Fielder will watch it sail over. Just looked interested for a while. The runs are coming now for South Africa.
Oh, those sponsors, come fly with me. Man, that's a big, big side of the fence. Pretty much in the middle. There it goes. Oh, stunning.
Got to think here, Jimmy Neesham. What's his plan to try and get out of their hitting arc? Similar feel with those three fielders square and one at cover, long off. So he's got to look to be straight. Better length, isn't it? The first one really seen up in the block hole.
You saw that from Henry as well. When he tried to bowl it into the pitch, it went for 6. So maybe going fuller is the way to go. They might have struggled in the air, but on the field, on the ground, New Zealand have been all right. Oh, more runs. This is not what New Zealand want to see. Already 16 of the over with the ball left. Can South Africa dream beyond 170?
Yeah, just a little bit off, and that's all it takes. 17 off his first over. Now he's gone for 16. And there's still a delivery to go here. Jimmy.
It's tended to be a problem over for New Zealand with their bowling throughout the tournament. I think Glenn Phillips against England. This time in the setting situation. Plenty of conversation between Mitch Satner and Jimmy Neesham here at the moment to say, how do they get out of this over? I suspect it's saying from Jansen, how big can I send this into the stand? Same field. Can you hit the Yorker again?
As full as possible, I think. As full as possible. No. Oh, but he was outside. He was outside. That'll be 6-2. 22 of the Neesham over. South Africa are smiling here. 150 for 5 with 2 left.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
ড্রিঙ্কও এখন রিয়েল ফ্রুট পাল্প ও নাটা চেলি সহ নতুন প্যাকে নতুন স্বাদে।
জিরো হবে নতুন ফিলে।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জিলাপি। রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন। ম্যাচে প্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
37 of the last 2 overs, the highest 6th wicket partnership in T20 internationals for South Africa. Just tells you why you need that depth. You need batting 7 and 8. Jansen is 40 of 24. Ferguson needs a wicket here. Needs a wicket here for New Zealand. Said 170, they could go beyond South Africa.
Well, they've got deep point and deep third out. The option of bowling wider if he wants.
Gets the wicket. Ferguson it is. The pick of the bowlers today.
Yeah, amazing in terms of thinking about your strategy and coming round. Right arm round to a right-hander, closing and shutting down angles and pace. Whether he changes it up, whether he bowls Yorkers, knuckle balls, it's the lovely leg cutter, it's slower, the deception for all to see. Done it so often.
At this point in time.
The other thing that New Zealand have done very well, been very disciplined with their time. The 6 minutes ahead of time, they'll have all 5 outside the circle. We've seen it so often in this tournament. The teams go into the last over and they've got one fewer fielder outside.
Yeah, you got to do all those fundamentals so well. Keep on top of things. Semi-final. Tension on. What's Ferguson got here now?
When he gets hold of it, you really don't want to see where it's ending up. It's inevitably deep into the stadium.
Ah, tremendous. What entertainment here in terms of semi-finals. Partnership, the half-century one, and now Jansen says, well, I've got to do it myself. Just wonder with Ferguson going away from the Yorker. Tall man, get it out of his toes. He went through in the previous one. What's he got now again?
One more. 50 comes up for Marco Jansen. Push the boundaries back to the Hooghly.
Not big enough anyway. Not for Marco Jansen. What an innings. Take a bow, sir. That is simply sensational here. In a pressure cooker situation. And he's striking at almost 200, folks.
Sort of a redemption innings for Marco Jansen. Not happy hunting ground in Kolkata with the ball. Great with the bat.
Excellent ball. It also means Bosch is in strike for the start of the next over. 163 for 6.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
বাবা এত এনার্জি কই পাও?
এই পাওয়ার ট্রুলি অ্যাকশন।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আরএফএল ক্লাস পাইপ নিশ্চিত করে প্রতি ইঞ্চিতে সঠিক থিকনেস ও সঠিক মাপ। তাই মাটির 1250 ফুট গভীরেও আরামে নিতে পারে প্রচন্ড চাপ। পাইপের বস না কিনলে লস।
Just wonder, New Zealand cannot afford to think, we might have had them 140, we might have had them 150. You can't think like that. Henry. Into the pitch is not working. Stays off strike. Puts Jansen back in.
So quick, Phillips. He's got a little hobble on and he landed awkwardly. Well, I think at the toss you say, okay, South Africa, with a few wickets here and there, but if you can hold them back to say 175, 180, I think New Zealand and Mitch Santner would take that. Given that it's a slick outfield, it tends to skid on, you're going to chase, a little bit of dew. I think you take that, 175, 180 at the toss and go, well, that's what you're going to chase. Mitchell, Santner, and crew, I think I'd take that.
Tricky one, though. If you can think like that, it's wonderful. But when you've got the opposition 77 for 5, you always think, what if? Can he keep it down to 1? He can.
Well, and just on that too, Harsh, I think a lot of these players play in the leagues around the globe. They know the situation. And they've seen it so often that you're quite right. Don't get ahead of yourself and don't get down on yourself because a team or a couple of guys have put it together. That 70-odd partnership, whilst fabulous, man, what could have happened with the top 4? And suddenly you're looking down the barrel at 220 and thinking, well, yeah, that's what can happen at this ground, given it's such a slick outfield and not the biggest boundary straight.
It's going to be a test of nerves, this game, as we go along. Now Bosch. Wide. Five sixes for Jansen. 2 boundaries. But well played the innings that makes a difference. This evolution as a proper wide ball all-rounder to serve South Africa so well. They've got a rich tradition of seam bowling all-rounders. Henry with a wicket. It's Bosch who's gone, but it's still Jansen at the non-strikers in.
Well, how often we say it, nothing wrong with a full Yorker in any form of the game, let alone a semi-final in a men's T20 World Cup. Oh, spot on. What a beauty. Subtle change in pace, but it was right on the butt from Matt Henry. Bosch in and out. 166 for 7.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আরএফএল এসডব্লিউআর পাইপই মাপে যা বলে তাই দেয়।
না দেখে ঠকবেন না। আরএফএল ছাড়া
কিনবেন না।
আরএফএল এসডব্লিউআর পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস।
পাইপের বস না কিনলে লস।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আপনার রুচির সাথে মানানসই স্টাইলিশ সব ডিজাইন থেকে বেছে নিন জংমুক্ত ও লং লাস্টিং শাইন বেসিন ট্যাপ। ফিটিংস শাইন তো সবকিছু ফাইন।
2 balls to try and get to 175, which will be a decent score. Henry wants a dot here, a wicket or a dot. There's a single wherever you want it, but is he going to go for the single or the slog? He chips it, and he finds the fielder. 2 in 2 for Matt Henry.
Not just a wicket, but most importantly, another dot ball as well in the last over. Talk about momentum shifts, so many. Marco Jansen is stuck at the other end at the moment. Just a half-hearted chip all the way through. Jimmy Neesham on the boundary rope. Welcome back, Matt Henry. 166 for 8. Rabada's gone for a duck.
ইফতারে আজ একসাথে মেতে উঠি আমের সাথে আজ সবার হাতে হাতে মেতে উঠি ফ্রুটোর সাথে
ইফতার থেকে সেহরিতে কোটি কোটি প্রাণ আজ আস্থার ভালোবাসায় মেতেছে ফ্রুটোময় স্বাদে।
আরএফএল ক্লাস পাইপ নিশ্চিত করে প্রতি ইঞ্চিতে সঠিক থিকনেস ও সঠিক মাপ। তাই মাটির 1250 ফুট গভীরেও আরামে নিতে পারে প্রচন্ড চাপ। পাইপের বস না কিনলে লস।
On a hat-trick. And Jansen trots across. He only needs 5 or 6 strides anyway.
Yeah. Just shows it. Good Yorker at the stumps. A little bit more effort there. Rabada would have gone to the crowd. It's always easy, isn't it, to say in hindsight. Just a little bit more. Gone over Neesham. Keep saying, not the biggest boundary in that area. Straight down the ground back to the pavilion.
So far, this over has not just been called, it's platinum. Brilliant. They're going to run hard for the second. The throws at the striker's end, and has he made it? He's all right. Just wonder about going to that end, but it's only 2, and it's a fantastic last over with only 6 off it.
Absolutely superb from Matt Henry. Given how much travelling he's just done, 2 for 34. Well done, sir. Great stuff from Matt Henry.
169 for 8 then. 170. Katie Martin, Danny Morrison. Come on, tell me.
Oh, the new ball is going to be so important. We saw a little bit in New Zealand bowled. They did so well, South Africa, to build that partnership. And so often there's a partnership that forms at some point of the innings. So to be able to scrap their way to 169 South Africa in a must-win game to make the final 2 years in a row. Maybe a slightly happier New Zealand side. A good scrappy performance. They just played it tactically well. They just fought all the way through New Zealand. Oh, beautifully, especially at the top.
It's the highest score for South Africa, number 7 or lower. Joint from Marco Jansen. They believe they've got a chance. They owe it to Jansen. So Matt Henry 2 for 34 from 4. I thought the pick of the bowlers was Ferguson, 1 for 29. They didn't start well. Brevis 34 of 27, but the innings got substance when Jansen came out to join Stubbs with the score on 77 for 5, and they've dragged it to 169. Look at Cole McConkey there. It's like having a 10-minute part in a movie and winning an Oscar. 1 over 2 for 9. Ravindra, excellent, 2 for 29. If they win, he's getting the Oscar, and he's talking at the moment to Aaron Finch.
Cole McConkey, thanks for joining us. Pretty easy, this World Cup knockout stuff, 2 for 9. When did you know you were going to have the new ball?
Yeah, we talked about it sort of the last couple of days, but 11 got finalised sort of just before warm-up. So nice to come out and contribute and kind of start the ball rolling there.
Did the wicket play how you thought it would and how the boys thought it would?
Yeah, I haven't played here previously, so I talked to the boys, and it was just, you know, from the spin point of view, trying to bowl hard into the wicket and see if we could get a little bit of grip early. But the way that the South African boys struck it there at the end, hopefully it's kind of flattening out and we go about a good chase.
A couple of big wickets at the top, Quinton de Kock, Ryan Rickleton. Must be nice when you get that first one out of the way and you get right into the game.
Yeah, certainly. I think obviously, you know, a few nerves, World Cup semi-final, but nice to come in. Yeah, coaches and staff saw a bit of a match up there, so nice to come in and contribute. A couple of wickets is always a bonus, and yeah, start the boys off well.
If you got off with this total at the start of the game, would you have taken it?
I think so. I think, yeah, stats probably led a little bit higher, but as you say, they've got a great bowling attack, so we're going to have to be on top of our game, but yeah, we'll take that at the start.
Thanks for your time, mate, and good luck in the chase.
Beautiful. Thanks, Pinchy.
And he answered that question for Danny Morrison. We would have taken that at the start, he said. 170 to get from 120 balls. Only one of them is going to Ahmedabad. We'll discover who it is when we come back after this break and the chase starts for New Zealand. 8.5 and over. We've got a great game on our hands.
This is our year.
Semi-final of #1 South Africa taking on New Zealand.
That's 2 in 2. Cole McConkey. And finds a gap again. South Africa back in this game.
Back out of there. Oh, the Black Caps
have put themselves into a position of strength.
It's gone some distance.
It's great to be connected on a plane, but not all the time.
ভালো আছি মা তোমাকে বৌমা চলে গেছে
হ্যাঁ চলে গেছে মানে আবার বললেন কি হইব
আরে মা বাপের বাড়ি গেছে ঘুরতে কি ভাই লোকাল ওয়াইফাই এর ঝামেলায় জীবনে শান্তি নাই আপনার চাই রবি ওয়াইফাই রবি ওয়াইফাই মানেই এখন নেট অন সারাক্ষণ
ইফতারে আজ একসাথে মেতে উঠি আমের সাথে আজ সবার হাতে হাতে মেতে উঠি ফ্রুটোর সাথে
ইফতার থেকে সেহেরিতে কোটি কোটি প্রাণ আজ আস্থার ভালোবাসায় মেতেছে ফ্রুটোময় স্বাদে।
কিরে ফিরে আসলি যে?
ভাবলাম একা একা তুই যদি ভয় পাস।
কারো ফিরে আসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। ফলের নির্যাস ও দুধের সমন্বয়ে পোলার টর্নেডো গ্রিন অ্যাপল আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
উৎসবে ভালোবাসা ঈদ মানে বাটা
শান্তি প্রশান্তি ক্লিক ফ্যানের অ্যারোডাইনামিক ডিজাইনের অ্যালুমিনিয়াম ব্লেড ও ডাবল শিল্ডেড বল বেয়ারিং নিঃশব্দে বাতাস ছড়ায় পুরো ঘর জুড়ে। ক্লিক ফ্যান, প্রশান্তির হাওয়া ছড়িয়ে যাবে সবখানে।
ক্লিক লাইটে আলো বেশি।
ক্লিক লাইটের প্রতি ওয়াটে সঠিক লুমেন দেয় সবচেয়ে বেশি উজ্জ্বল আলো। সম্পূর্ণ ফ্লিকার ফ্রি হওয়ায় চোখের জন্য ভালো। ক্লিক এলইডি, সবচেয়ে বেশি উজ্জ্বল আলো।
উৎসবে ভালোবাসা ঈদ মানে বাটা
দেশের তৈরি ফ্যালকন এমএস পাইপ।
সঠিক মাত্রার কার্বন কম্বিনেশন বৃদ্ধি করে পাইপের ডাক্টিলিটি ও হেভি লোড নেয়ার ক্ষমতা। ফ্যালকন এমএস পাইপ, নির্ভরতার প্রতীক।
আরএফএল এসডব্লিউআর পাইপই মাপে যা বলে তাই দেয়, না দেখে ঠকবেন না। আরএফএল ছাড়া
আরএফএল এসডব্লিউআর পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস।
পাইপের বস না কিনলে লস।
একটু ভালোবাসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। চিজি আইসক্রিমের সাথে ভেলভেটি কেকের মিশ্রণে পোলার রেড ভেলভেট আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
In what a task, they're happy to bowl first, which wasn't surprising, and they made an impact straight away. First 6 overs belonged to New Zealand. They picked up 2 wickets going into the cup. Also, Ryan Littleton in that first 6 overs. When they continued to pick up wickets and not allow too many partnerships to fall, and Africa hit back a little bit in the acceleration phase. The finish may not have been quite as South Africa wanted. They lost those 3 wickets. South Africa needed somebody to stand up. Sean Pollock, and it happened to be Marco Jansen with his first T20 World Cup 50.
Indeed, they did need someone to stand up, and he hasn't had much of a hit in this tournament, just 2 occasions, and he's hardly been there for 3 or 4 balls. But tonight it was special. Give them something to hopefully work with.
Score in T20 internationals first time. He scored a half century in T20 World Cups. His previous best was a 21 undefeated, which you can see there against the West Indies in 2024. And South Africa ended up winning and went to the semi-final to eventually defeat Afghanistan and make it through to the final. There's a lot for him to do with the ball now, though. Quite a bit of it. Jansen was the man who stood up. When you just look at how he played some of his shots, a few things stood out.
He's got such long levers. He's got so much power. I love how he keeps his head down right through the ball there. Doesn't try and overhit it. Understanding that the boundaries the size that they are at Eden Garden. 60 odd metres all the way around. Just need to find it near the middle of the bat. And that was a special knock, like Polly said. His ability under pressure to walk to the crease at 77 for 5 and have a big impact to get them to a total they can defend is a great effort.
This has been spending some time with Gilbert Brevis as well. The no-look shot, which Gilbert Brevis has brought out in this tournament a few times. New Zealand need to go 8.5 to the over to put place in the final in the bud, and they await their opponents. But can South Africa's bowling line do something special together? Yes, the red one's on the field. Yes, it is not. At the moment, we see to feel comfortable with this chase at this ground.
But it comes down to the power play. The first 6 overs, I feel as though in the South African bowling attack, the different numbers, the different skill sets, with all the fast bowlers bring combined effect of Maharaj. Into this New Zealand middle order early. It's never easy chasing a total, particularly in a knockout, particularly in a World Cup semi-final. South African players have been there before. They know what it takes to win a semi-final.
So almost like a psychology thing, it's 170 and so the field really well, really well. I think he's got a
pitch the ball up and swing it back in towards middle and off stump, particularly to Seifert. Somebody who loves the left arm angle coming back into him. He targets that long-handed wicket there. Seifert, you can expose him if you get that ball to swing late.
That's what he's looking for. A little bit on that left-hander.
So I think there's a bit in the corner for the width because the protection is not there on your side. I got the step in place, it also makes sense with the bounce you expect from the surface. If it just goes across rather than swing, you can find the outside edge and pick up over the neck pressure.
Short ball is also a catcher in this situation if the ball doesn't swing. How often do we see a left arm that wonderfully played from Tim Seifert? Just leans on it. Runs.
The placement ended up being perfect for it. He's in off to a start. Feet in the ball, it's not shaking, it's feeling like they're going to swing. I had a word with the captain, so okay, not really swinging as much as I want to make a touch of the shot.
Where does South Africa go from here, do you think? Maybe he's going to be different depending on conditions.
It's not different. The way these batters take their stance, it's difficult to move up front. And that's where you're most susceptible to being out. The one and also slow ball could have been a good mix up for these two.
This makes us good. Still a couple of runs.
I agree with you there, Paul. If it is a long ball that can move the ball both ways, predominantly try to angle the ball back into the right handle. That's the ability to just hit the seam and hold it slow. For a right hander, particularly someone like Seifert who wants to stay on the outside of the ball. Just search for the ball with traction there. Gives us a little bit of indecision.
And that catches in place, but it goes in between the two. More runs for New Zealand.
So the chat to the balance and the angle going across the outside every once in a while that doesn't swing as much as you expect. Is tempted to shape in, just straightens as it pitches, finds the edge. But no joy for South Africa. Another bonus boundary for New Zealand.
Seifert hasn't found the middle of the bat yet and he looks up and he's 10 or 5. It's a nice feeling as a got it.
Just goes short. Now Rickleton doing the fielding. In the first, it's 11 without loss.
ইফতার থেকে সেকেন্ডে কোটি কোটি প্রাণ আজ আস্থার ভালোবাসার মেতেছে ফুটে ভাষায়
সর্বাধুনিক সিপিভিসি ম্যাটেরিয়াল দিয়ে তৈরি আরএফএল সিপিভিসি প্রো পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস 93 ডিগ্রি সেলসিয়াস পর্যন্ত গরম পানি সহ্য করতে পারে আরএফএল সিপিভিসি প্রো পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস
Even is on the board for New Zealand. We're talking about New Zealand. Yeah, they started the tournament. For the first time in the tournament, plays the first over. Now, Professor Ricardo is throwing the ball. Of course, to see where they're going to put one over two. Pressure from Raj himself has only got one over the power play in the tournament. Doesn't often bowl in the power play. So it's going to do well for New Zealand.
the ball over the inner ring. But he was full of confidence in his last one, so I think he's going to have a better performance. And look at the odd one just to look away from the right hander. Anticipating up in the air. Quinton de Kock was the one who said no. Initially he was looking down to find it, and then he decided no, that's mine. That was when he said no, leave it to me. Just kept going away from him. In the end, didn't even get close to it. South Africa would be leading the match as the backward edges that are falling short. This one ends up in no man's land. But he gets 4, he's away. Captain, you say, first 2 overs will be unplayed. They get 4 opportunities, basically. This is the one that probably had the best chance of the take. That's so hard, hung in the air forever. Because he only had a couple of yards to run in. We always say, the wicketkeeper thinks he can get there. He's the one with the gloves on. He called early. After an initial look, he called early and went for it. And then it's nowhere near it. That's a big miss.
Another one, very short. You are someone who believes in luck at the moment. You feel it is with New Zealand.
Last 2 deliveries of the moment, sometimes in the captain, you say to your feet to be on the edge of the ring, and because it's these kind of plays and stuff like that, and they do like to go back. Bishop Warren just right on the edge. And also the fact that was in the air for eternity on the end of it. Another one that doesn't go to him.
সাথে মানানসই স্টাইলিশ ডিজাইন থেকে বেছে নিন জন্মত্ব ও লং লাস্টিং শাইন বেসিং ট্যাপ। ফিটিংস শাইন তো সবকিছু ফাইন।
That's for sure.
This is a wonderful strike. Have a look at his balance here. He's got a big ball with his feet. That's where he wants it. He's freeing his arms. As soon as it goes outside his eye line, he knows he can get a free swing of the bat through the ball there. Wonderful strike.
We have a player review for caught behind original decision knockout. I checked the free picture quite easily looking at the full screen now. Let's keep it rolling, please. Keep it rolling, please. The ball is close to the bat. We have a goal, please. Flat line. Keep it going. Let me see if this touching the pads. Yes, it's off the back leg. I don't need ball tracking, it is way too high. I'll go back to Alex on the field. Alex, you can stay with your decision. You're on screen now, you can signal him.
Excellent decision on field by Alex Moore.
Yeah, you also get the feeling that all the balls dropping in the wrong areas and then you're able to get that breakthrough. It's a nice aspect for it to be the careful. We're willing it to be an inside edge rather than anything else. A full point of view.
This will give New Zealand so much confidence in this chase. They will own this power play.
This is brilliant for Craig. It was all the first ball of the over, which was the real confidence. And this one's just as good in the execution. Into position early, changes the grip, gets into a strong position, just waits for it. It's very difficult for Marco Jansen with his heart to target the stumps. It seems like quite a safe shot to play against them. Execute perfect.
It's so short behind the wicket, anything on it, and it just flies away. We've got to fix himself for a couple of reasons. One, he's somewhat that the ball is not swinging anymore. So that angle going across the right-hander, when he gets down in that position to play the scoop, he's actually providing a full face of the back to the ball. So it's a relatively low-risk shot for a player like Seifert. As we see now, a change of angle from Marco Jansen. Around the wicket, trying to shut down the angle. Will he go really full, try and target the stumps?
It is wonderful to watch. Straight down the ground. He seems to have a lovely angle to place on the wicket.
It seems the wicket's getting better and better. Have a look at this shot. That is not a butt volley by any stretch. That is a beautiful cricket shot. He holds the pose. The ability to hit that through the line on the up with the angle of Marco Jansen, the extra bounce that he gets from around the wicket, that's extraordinary. That is batting perfection. He's forced another change. England goes back. Georgia and South Africa are following the ball at the moment.
প্রথমবার 20টা কনফার্ম আজই গোল বিকাশ করুন।
কি রে ফিরে আসলি যে?
ভাবলাম একা একা তুই যদি ভয় পাস।
কারো ফিরে আসা ভালো করতে পারেনি। ফলের নির্যাস ও দুধের সমন্বয়ে পোলার টর্নেডো গ্রিন অ্যাপেল আইসক্রিম। পোলার মন ভালো থাকে।
বিকাশের পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20টা কনফার্ম আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
Officer Rabada gets down but doesn't stop it clean. Just take the pace off it. And get 3. That's a watcher tonight.
Talked about how there's such an important 6 overs in New Zealand, but almost set the innings up and break the back of the chase. That's the performances of the most wickets in the tournament. Slightly at the top is Rabada and Wingingiri. Superb back in front in the power play, and the reserve goes at the back end.
Slip out.
execute a run out or something. They need a breakthrough, so they can't just stand back and wait for things to happen. Here's this tournament so far. Straight away, the second over today had a big impact on getting the captain line and hitting the left-handers early. So maybe it's a way for South Africa to just change the pace of the game, but also with an eye that is a really attacking option as well. So it was a couple of holding in both teams. So there might be a chance that they can't afford to wait for after the park. They have to expose Mahara from this first six. Him and watched the footage and know that it's coming to deal with it, there's still a chance for offside for a person and going back. The fence between the midfielder.
A new way to play Lungi Ngini and the skill that he has in this power play.
আরএফএল ট্র্যাক লাইট নিশ্চিত করে প্রতি ইঞ্চিতে সঠিক ফিটনেস ও সঠিক মাপ, তাই মাটির 1250 ফুট গভীরেও আরামে নিতে পারে প্রচন্ড চাপ। পাইপের বস না কিনলে লস। ভালো আছি না?
আরে মা, বাপের বাড়ি গেছে ঘুরতে। কি ভাই, লোকাল ওয়াইফাই এর ঝামেলায় জীবনে শান্তি নাই? আপনার চাই রবি ওয়াইফাই। রবি ওয়াইফাই মানেই এখন নেট অন সারাক্ষণ।
Batting from his partnership so far. Mark it down the block quick. Good win. And Starbucks himself. Comparatively. He's up to a fly as well.
Never beaten South Africa in a T20 World Cup match. Excellent place at the moment to change that record against the Proteas. Do it. display here at Eden Gardens by Seifert.
Seifert missed the kick that he should have done. Because of to go for something completely different. It's too much of the same. Seifert has a good play. You just keep giving them what he needs to hit. It's the slow moving, yes, but it's one that they can pick up pretty easily. The striking has been superb. 37 of 19, 21 of 9, 58 of 28 the partnership. And we're breaking the back of this chase.
This pair brings up 400 runs together in the tournament. And it'll keep going for Seifert and Allen. They're breaking the back of the chase.
It's the 1-2 punch, isn't it? First slide, pump down the ground. This one back to the leg. Just sits up. You've got a slice of luck early. There was a ball that he skied that landed in the gap.
Coming for South Africa for 62 overs.
দেশের তৈরি ফ্যালকন সঠিক মাত্রার কার্বন কম্বিনেশন বৃদ্ধি করে পাইপের ডাক্টিলিটি ও রেগুলার করার ক্ষমতা। ফ্যালকন নির্ভর
কি রে ফিরে আসলি যে?
ভাবলাম একা একা তুই যদি ভয় পাস।
কারো ফিরে আসা ভালো করতে পারে মন। ফলের নির্যাস ও দুধের সমন্বয়ে পোলার টর্নেডো গ্রিন অ্যাপল আইসক্রিম। পোলার মন ভালো থাকে।
All New Zealand. They bossed the power play with ball in hand and now doing even better with bat in hand. It's this partnership of Allen and Seifert through the tournament. Off it goes again, it'll go all the way for 6. Just throws the hands at it, and it's a flat one that goes all the way.
He's just got such impeccable balance at the crease at the moment. Finn Allen. That's a little crease at the bottom there, but purposely lifting it up and over the field. Complementary opening partnership. South Africa continuing to go with the pace on. These players at the moment.
These two love the pace. Nobody will catch that. It's out the middle of the bat. Come on.
Earlier in the power play. And we're contemplating, I feel Maharaj for cheeky over. He's only going one over in the power play. That's against my son. He's out for 17. That's when he's apprehension.
Throw the bat. It's the final over of the power play. And working on the front foot. They are not taking a backward step. 6-4-4.
It's a fair play for New Zealand to say how many can they get off this last over. Just wonder if Finn Allen is slightly hanging back knowing that Ruben Bosch loves to put it into that heavy length area. Just to hold his shape.
his first 5.
It's a dot to finish. A monster of a power play. 84 without loss, New Zealand. It's time for a drink.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আরএফএল ইজি পাইপ আমেরিকান এএসটিএম স্ট্যান্ডার্ডে তৈরি আধুনিক যুগের আধুনিক পাইপ ফিটিংসের সাথে জয়েন্ট হয় শক্ত ও মজবুত। আরএফএল ইজি পাইপ এন্ড ফিটিংস, পাইপের বস না কিনলে লস।
আজকে মরিমাখা জেলা রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, পিৎজা বার, ব্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আজকে মরিমাখা জেলা রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, পিৎজা বার, ব্যান্ডামার্ট ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
ড্রিঙ্ক রাখুন রিয়েল ফ্রুট পাম্প ও নাকি চেরি সহ নতুন প্যাকে নতুন স্বাদে।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আজকে মরিমাখা জেলা রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, চিলক্স, ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আজকে মরিমাখা জেলা রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, ম্যাচে ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
আপনার রুচির সাথে মানানসই স্টাইলিশ সব ডিজাইন থেকে বেছে নিন জন্মত্র ও লং লাস্টিং শাইন বেসিং ট্যাপ। ফিটিংস শাইন প্রো সবকিছু ফান।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
Let's go. Taste.
আজকে মরিমাখা জেলা রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, ম্যাচে ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
ইফতার থেকে সেহরিতে কোটি কোটি প্রাণ আজ আস্থার ভালোবাসার মেতেছে ফুটো হিসাবে।
আজকে মরিমাখা জেলা রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, চিলক্স, ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
Looking back at the tournament, most successful opening pairs. Ben Allen, Tim Seifert, Quinton de Kock and Aidan Markham. It's the Allen and Seifert partnership that's turned up tonight. Surpassed what they've done in the tournament. Average 69 and the run rate of just under 10.5. Here's Maharaj.
Interesting to see how New Zealand play it now. I hate to see them go into a shower because it's clear score on the ball. I'm saying because you find that one of the first ball off the time, it's responsible.
That's the sort of spark and energy you want in the circuit. I do love that line to himself. He loves to give himself space through that lead side, try and hit up and over the offside. He's in tight in that extra cover position.
Shot hit so hard.
বাতাস ও দুধের সমন্বয়ে পোলার টর্নেডো গ্রিন অ্যাপল আইসক্রিম। পোলার, মন ভালো থাক।
বিকাশের পণ্য বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
That's the equation. 79 from 78. Should do it from here. Of the pressure of all of it. Look, doesn't quite get it.
Fielding so often tells you really he was as a team, intensity, doing the little things and enjoying it, rifling back to the people, picking up, making a skip and throw, and made it all for South Africa.
Just 28 balls, 6 fours and 2 sixes. Well in charge.
It's such a difference for this New Zealand side. They're getting a little bit of fortune with those edges over the top, but it doesn't matter. Stadiums that are already sold out for that tournament. And dare I say, New Zealand are the defending champions as well. I'm really sorry about this, but South Africa, Australia, India and Group A, the group of death we're calling it. Well, I've just called it that right now. West Indies, England, New Zealand. Carlos, it's going to be a great battle as well. It's great to see the Netherlands back in the tournament. And Scotland as well, who are impressive.
Goes on between Cyprus and Allen. What a semi there,
He's reacted so well to the slower delivery. He's just held his hook long enough. Look at that beautifully.
Oh, there's that slow ball.
ডিজাইনের অ্যালুমিনিয়াম ব্লেড ও ডাবল শিল্ডেড বল বেয়ারিং নিঃশব্দে বাতাস ছড়ায় পুরো ঘর জুড়ে। ক্লিক ফ্যান, প্রশান্তির হাওয়া ছড়িয়ে যাবে সবখানে।
ক্লিক লাইটে আলো বেশি।
ক্লিক লাইটের প্রতি ওয়াটে সঠিক লুমেন দেয় সবচেয়ে বেশি উজ্জ্বল আলো। সম্পূর্ণ ফ্লিকার ফ্রি হওয়ায় চোখের জন্য ভালো। ক্লিক এলইডি, সবচেয়ে বেশি উজ্জ্বল আলো।
You see a stop delivery and then you see a slow delivery where he rolls the fingers over it. It sort of pops out in a way. It's that top spinner comes out. Pretty much as a batter look exactly the same. So challenging to pick up.
it, they'd have been looking at the partnership that they needed to break. South Africa, if they were to have any chance, having caught just the 169. It rolls on 14 off, 117 without loss.
বিকাশে পণ্য বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
খুব ভালো খেতে, খেয়ে বলি
Mexico, এমন টেস্ট।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা দিলাম রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, পিৎজা বার, প্যান্ডা বার ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পণ্য বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
That's what you want from the top of the order. 58 for 33. Breaking the back of the chase. 117 for 1. New Zealand.
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা দিলাম রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, চিলা বক্স, প্যান্ডা বার ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
New Zealand going comfortably at a rate of 12 3/4 per over. Watching Ravindra feeling the runs not gone at it helter-skelter, but has done enough in the tournament. South Africa's bowl has been so good through the tournament, you wouldn't expect that there'd be a 100 partnership up front against them.
Don't mind that from Tim Simon. He's got more value from the bail than he did from the back today. Almost. Strong powers. Shows a bit of effort into this wicket. Maybe that couple of cracks. Slight movement. It's been quite interesting actually when you look at how teams have gone against Rachin Ravindra. Is they've actually looked to bowl a little bit wider to him, so quite a lot of his runs have actually been through the offside. He hasn't hit as many through his leg side, so teams have actually taken his strength away. I guess that's where something like the slower deliveries that are wider that touched on Ngedi. It is quite crucial against a player like this top order for New Zealand.
Wider so good. I just imagine it really coming down side on. You can only see the difference from the side on, which the batter doesn't have the opportunity to get. The only difference is side on, it goes back
150 টাকা ছাড়।
ভালো আছি মা। আরে মা, বাপের বাড়ি গেছে ঘুরতে। কি ভাই, লোকাল ওয়াইফাই ঝামেলায় জীবনে শান্তি নাই। আপনার চাই রবি ওয়াইফাই। রবি ওয়াইফাই মানে এখন নেট অন সারাক্ষণ।
Disappointing campaign in 2024. They've come back so strongly this year. Winning the games that count. Warren Bosch, his first over for 22. Here it goes. New Zealand have made the gap finding look so easy.
A wonderful shot. His walk to the crease and his time to pants off it. He's hit the ball in the middle of the bat from ball one. He's raced to 10. Not the biggest gap there at mid-wicket. It feels like it's a different wicket that New Zealand have gathered on.
It's been all New Zealand here in this chase. Winning 28 of just their turnovers. Opening partnership by Allen and Seaford. That was all good, that was all damage. Africa just weren't able to get back into the game. Fastest victors in this World Cup. Allen right up there. 19 balls. Right now, that's when my team would have wanted him.
Performance of South Africa through the tournament, undefeated. New Zealand navigating South Africa to 20 World Cup match as well. Asking the players before the game about those records and how much that plays a factor. So last didn't go. So we're going to show up to date. That's what New Zealand have done so well. Show that credit. Played the situation well, conditions. Overall by the fact that they're in a knockout game. Yet to taste defeat in this tournament. Only lost that one match in 2024. Semi-final.
Can try doing their hard one. Fortunately, nothing. Trying with a little bit of cramp or a little bit of pain. We want to keep going as long as possible if whatever's happening.
Right now, it looks like New Zealand will book a place in the final. Who will it be up against though? It's India taking on England. Interesting fortune story of 2023. As you could say, England had some tight games. They ended up getting through. India losing just the one game to South Africa. That takes place in London Stadium. India defend the title. We've seen power from New Zealand all the way through this innings. And then look at that, head back now to 147 for 1.
ড্রিঙ্ক রাখুন রিয়াল ফ্রুট পাম্প ও নাকি চিনি সহ নতুন প্যাকে নতুন স্বাদে।
ভালো আছি মা।
চলে গেছে মানে?
আরে মা, বাপের বাড়ি গেছে ঘুরতে। কি ভাই, লোকাল ওয়াইফাই ঝামেলায় জীবনে শান্তি নাই। আপনার চাই রবি ওয়াইফাই। রবি ওয়াইফাই মানে এখন নেট অন সারাক্ষণ।
Alan.
পর্যন্ত গরম পানি সহ্য করতে পারে। আরএফএল সিপিভিসি প্রো পাইপ অ্যান্ড ফিটিং।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জেলার রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, পিৎজা বার, প্যান্ডা বার ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পণ্য বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিকাশ করুন। বিকাশে পণ্য বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিকাশ করুন।
ছবির মতো সুন্দর আরএফএল বাথরুম ফিটিংস, অভিজাত ও দীর্ঘস্থায়ী।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জেলার রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
বিকাশে পণ্য বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিকাশ করুন।
Had the advantage having beat in India. So much better. These two. They took the responsibility as they've done through the tournament. So it's a partnership against
pressure early. Been in this position before, we know what to do. Just put that to bed straight away. Maharaj back into the attack.
Today it just feels like
the top of leg stump. Just the footwork, the depth of the crease that he uses to get back. And again, won't get caught. And struck so crisply off the back foot. That's the end of the 12th. It's 149 for 1.
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আপনার রুচির সাথে মানানসই স্টাইলিশ সব ডিজাইন থেকে বেছে নিন জনমিত্র ও লং লাস্টিং শাইন বেসিন ট্যাপ। ফিটিং শাইন তো সবকিছু ফান।
বিকাশে পল্লী বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিলে প্রথমবার 20 টাকা অফার। আজই বিল বিকাশ করুন।
আজকে মরিমাখা জেলা রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন। চিলাক্স, ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
So much credit to the coaches. I think they shot a lot to that. They've had an inside but not quite.
He's just toying with him now. Finally back inside the circle. Yards him back into the attack.
He's got a flight to catch here, Fincher. He's just going. I think if I was him, I'd also keep going. Only 17 they need. Goals is not a factor. Captain, you're having a chat to his bowler. Tough conversation there, I'm sure. The captain even more coming out the last in the head. Looking at the strike rates. 195. It's a lot of impact, especially for a guy who comes in at the top of the order.
And especially since they've played a couple of games in Sri Lanka where the wickets haven't been as conducive to the walking out and bumping it from the start. It's a wonderful match today.
Boundaries are falling so easily, and after all the chat, it doesn't matter.
Sometimes you just have to shake your head and you say, we've been outplayed. That's almost perfect from Marco Jansen. He's tried to follow him, he's tried to tuck him up. One-handed, still finds the boundary. Oh, just 13 to get. 16 for 100. Can he manufacture it? That's huge. That is out of here.
And smoking here at E&G. Wow. It has silenced those South African fans. And there's no mucking around from Finella. He's hunting it into the 90s at 31. He's only going at 290, folks. 7 sixes and 940. This crowd has certainly been entertained. I think if wickets going, Marco Jansen and his magnificent innings. Mr. Stubbs with a bit of action as well. That's this! It's 6 more!
Doesn't matter where you bowl to him at the moment. He's got an answer for everything. You execute, he's got an answer. You put it up on a tee, and he'll pump you down the ground. He goes to 96, just the 1 run needed for victory. One boundary away from 100. It'll be a remarkable World Cup semi-final 100.
Yeah, I'm absolutely speechless here, Fincher. It's been an incredible run here for him. 1 run away from getting his team into the semi-finals. Okay, that's the top of his mark. Trying to change the field.
There's a lot of long faces if you're a South African fan. They're just absolutely stunned by what Finn Allen has produced today. You can see what it means to the Kiwis. Yes, it's 100, and it's a magnificent 100, but they're in a World Cup final.
South Africa tasted it in the last outing there in the Caribbean.
Big Sanders, happy. That's as much as you get from him. Phenomenal New Zealand. Been absolutely clinical today.
Simply sensational from those in black from down under. And little old Aotearoa in New Zealand with, well, 5.5 million people. That's it. So it has been an evening of entertainment, an evening to remember the cricket lovers from that part of the world. The three little islands that are New Zealand versus South Africa, with all their bristling menace over the tournament. They really have been a juggernaut, unbeaten so far. Not anymore. They're going to go home, and these guys in black go into the finale. They're there on Sunday, and they either meet India or England. Wow. That's Santner, yeah, always very understated, Helen Finch. And you'll see those little curly lights, there they are. So a great vibe and feeling here at Eden Gardens. The toss went the way for Nick Santner. And as Adam Malcolm said, I think he had both sides looking to bowl first. A little bit of G factor and not slip up the pitch a little before. But that man, fastest and meanest T20 World Cups ever. 100 off 33 balls, striking just over 300, 10 fours and 8 sixes. And that partnership at the end there with Ravindra was 56 off 22. And he lost a bit of the strike, didn't he, Frenchie?
Seifert got out of the
আরএফএল ট্রাস্ট লাইট নিশ্চিত করে প্রতি ইঞ্চিতে সঠিক ফিটনেস ও সঠিক মাপ, তাই মাটির 1250 ফুট গভীরেও আরামে নিতে পারে প্রচন্ড চাপ। পাইপের বস না কিনলে লস।
আজকে মুড়ি মাখা জেলা রমজান নিয়ে নো টেনশন, পিৎজা বার, প্যান্ডা বার ও আরো অনেক অপশনে ডিল নাও কোডে 150 টাকা ছাড়।
Franchise leagues around the globe. Finn Allen, seen him do it in Australia. Certainly there in the United States of late. So he's brought some of that pedigree from earlier years here to a semi-final of the men's ICC T20 World Cup of 2026 at this iconic venue. 58 from 33 from Southwood, the only man to go. And they put on 107 into an opening stand. And then they had a bit of a Ravindra. Just delighted to put a second foot on each finale.
170 to chase, and they chase it inside 13 overs. Everyone's going to go around the park, aren't they? Doesn't matter what South Africa threw it. New Zealand, Finn Allen, Finn Seifert today. And all the bases covered. It was just an absolute clinical chase. Their ability to put a marker down and say, this is our chase. We're going to do this with ease.
It's like they're going to rush off from here to the train station. 169 for 8, not bad, given what was happening. And 173 for 1. All right, we're going to go down sideline and catch up with Connie and Bangla.
Well, time for the Player of the Match award, and it is Carlos Brathwaite, former captain of the West Indies, who's going to present it to Finn Allen for a quite magnificent century. 100 not out of 33 balls, 10 fours, 8 sixes. A slouching strike rate of 303. Finn, that was magnificent. Is that the best you've ever put out?
Thank you. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty up there. Yeah, like I said, they're in good positions and pretty good performance in full team.
You and Tim walk out there each time and seem to go hell for leather. Tell me about the planning the way that surface played.
Yeah, obviously we want to just start looking straight and obviously try and put them on the back foot early. I think it's easy for me when Timmy's going like that. I can kind of just watch and then hit it when it's in my area and just try to defend the strike. So I think the way that he batted got us off to an absolute flying. I think, like I said, we wanted to get strong positions, look straight, and work the ball square off the leg.
Tell me about rhythm in terms of not quite getting the strike as much as him and how you keep yourself sort of balanced and kind of in the moment, as it were, so that you can work well.
I think it's easy in a semi-final to set up for the fight. Obviously, huge game for us, and I think, with Timmy, we say keep each other in it, whether we're on strike or not, just keep ensuring that each other's looking straight, looking at the ball hard, and we enjoy that way together.
In terms of kind of going from place to place, having to adjust from pitch to pitch, what changes for you as you look to try and be aggressive?
I think you get to the wickets. I think trainings are really important to get a feel of what the wicket might play like. And when you're coming here, black soil, there was that India series before this, which the boys played a lot on black soil, so good himself from that. And I think that shows how important that series was for us coming to this World Cup.
You're very proud. And how does that feel? How much do you celebrate this? Can you replicate?
I think you take the positives from this game for sure, celebrate the all-round success, and then we've got a final win on Sunday, so we just look forward to that.
Very well played. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh yes, well played from Allen. Confirmation, fastest hundreds ever in the ICC men's T20 World Cups. Just declared by Chris Gale in 2016 to 37. Gale again. Russian bowlers get some top five. Here in 2026 tonight. Just a different lead. Breaking down that first 6 over, it certainly is the launch they had looked at. Edge of ball that loss, and then thinking those mid-overs
the tournament. Can you put your finger on why today didn't seem that way?
Yeah, I think you just look at conditions, really. They bowled really well up front. Cruising quite full after this corner, and some of the stopping the wickets and hitting quite low on the bat, and they made scoring really tough. I mean, through that pressure balls, and you lose wickets, unfortunately. So, big credit to that bowling unit. Obviously with the bat, some plays innings like that. Don't think we're tired, and that's a lot of result in the times as a period of time.
170 in the end, and other times, and I continue to go back to other times because you're the team to beat through the tournament, having put in such good performances. Did you feel that you couldn't quite come back, as it were?
Yeah, look, to get to 170 was a great effort, to be fair. Quite frankly, really felt like we had a sniff, but then as it goes in T20 cricketers, T20 cricket for power play, they have to acquire and can't protect every boundary, unfortunately, and yeah, they got away and then from there it was really a clear cut. So we give massive credit to Finn Allen's knock, Tim Southwick's knock to clear the game as early as they did, and yeah, unfortunately it was just a bad night for us tonight.
A bad night, wrong time, I guess, to have a bad night. If they give you the opportunity to change something through the course of the night, perhaps might shift things, what would it be?
It's hard to say right now, Tom. We're reflective of the group. I think we expected the wicket to play really well. It looked pretty good to the eye. So potentially just adapt to the cricket a little bit and go back to maybe a bit more old school approach, set it up and try and scrap your way to 190 and maybe we'll be in the game from there. So yeah, we're reflective of the group. Obviously disappointed with the result, but quite a proud of his good to guys, the platform, and really the cricket practice camp, and it's just unfortunate.
So many nearlies, so many tough situations from an emotional perspective, I'm sure, within your changing as well as you go back. What is it you can say to your group, having kind of gone so well and then stumbled again at this hurdle?
Yeah, I think we let the emotions settle first and foremost. Also have the discussion as a group. All we do is break down the game and try to find the areas that we could have been better. You get back on the horse and you try and prove as a group and as individuals, and hopefully that puts you in good stead for the future. So yeah, again, hugely disappointed. It's big, not slap in the face, but it feels like it. Because of that, I think we'll have to come out stronger and be better as a team moving forward.
Congratulations, as I say, and all the best with it.
Cheers, thank you.
Aidan Markham, captain of South Africa, now to the victorious captain of New Zealand. Must be very happy with that. That was dominant, wasn't it?
That was nice. I think, yeah, we knew obviously how good South Africa was showing up throughout the tournament, so to put on a performance like that and a close game was obviously pretty pleasant.
Talk to me about planning. You played them before, and they dominate you in that game. What is it you felt you had to do as a group coming into this one to ensure that you reverse that result as you've done?
Yeah, I guess every time you get shown up or you lose a game, you're learning from it. Obviously you learn when you win as well. So we knew we weren't on or as good as we could have been during that game, and they played unbelievably well, especially on the wicket like that. So yeah, I guess today it was trying to keep them under pressure for a long time. Obviously threw a little bit more spin at the start, which we didn't do in the middle game. But yeah, I think if you can take wickets throughout, it's obviously a challenge to keep going with the bat.
There's so many options as the skipper. You use Cole for one, he gets a couple, and then you don't use him again. Was it like always the plan, or what was it as you went along in terms of what was going on tactically in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, there was a plan for the first 2 overs, and then it's kind of free for all after that. I think with obviously the right-handers coming out, Ruby obviously was a large spin. So we thought maybe if the ball was spinning away a bit more, it might be a bit more of a challenge, but I think even when it's up in the side, it kind of hits it stays hit. So yeah, I was trying to, I guess, chop and change, because the wicket was pretty good. Obviously a small ground and fast outfield, so I think I guess we're able to keep chipping wickets away through the middle. And then Stubbs in the end, so that's a quite
Speak about Tim and Ken. They've been good for you through the tournament. They generally kind of seem to set it up quite nicely. Special, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice to watch. I guess we were very happy with 170 going to the series, but you never know. I think like wickets in the power play, there's always a challenge, and they kind of just went out there and played their game and took it on, which was cool. cool to see, and I think that new partnership you get for a power play man down, puts you in a pretty good position. And then obviously Finley just carried on and 43 balls for hundreds of goals.
You'd probably say that's a perfect game. Kind of have to come down from the high and then repeat it over and over. Can you? How do you?
Well, nice to be tough. But again, it's different ground. We've been here before, obviously. I think depending on whether it's red soil, black soil. So there's a lot of different factors that go in different size grounds. So I think we'll obviously be pretty happy tonight with the win. And we've got a couple of days to really think about what happens next. But yeah, it was a pretty good performance. I said before we haven't really played the perfect game. It's always a hard cliche thing, but we've been good in periods, and then today I think we were pretty good all the way through.
Well done on the win.